So let's go ahead and start this. So I'm going to go ahead and move to, let's see here. What would be the best one for this one? So we're going to go ahead and move to that screen. I also got a different lens for upstairs. So you guys will have to keep me in the know if it's in focus. The lens that we're using is a little closer of a zoom so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, because we were having issues. I felt like we were too far away, so I put a different lens in there. So let's go ahead and open this up. So are you from France? Okay. So Wild Assent is a 1 to 4 player game. It's got skirmish modes on there. It's also got a cooperative mode. Obviously a solo mode as well. Canada. Quebec, Canada. That's awesome. And this is from Lazy Squire Games. Alright, let's do the reveal. Let's check this out. Alright. So we've got, that's interesting. They put the rule book in its own Ziploc bag. Look at that, and that's weird. Okay. See if I can move this a little closer. And is that able to get in here? Probably. We'll see. Okay, so here's the rule book. I always, when I do unboxings, I like to take a look at the rule book. I think it's important to kind of get an idea of the contents of said rule books. We have the hunt rule book, we've got the campaign book, and the arena rule book. So let's take a look at the arena rule book. The first thing I like to do is look at the back and see if they have any iconography or okay, so they do have a keyword, so this is important. Anything that had, so you guys, that's the closest I can get. Let me know if it's out of focus. So we have a keyword here, which I love. It kind of gives you an idea of how to find or what specific terms may mean. And we've got some common effects. It looks like after that is just standard rules. Really high quality print here. Hey, look at all the Canadians. Yeah, I'm really excited for the new version of this. I was hoping to get some content out for this before the GameFound releases. We'll see if I can get that. So the art looks great. Check out this art. That's beautiful. Really cool phoenix there. And then we've got a component list. You'll be surprised at how many companies do not put a component list in their unbox or their tables, their rule books. What am I saying here? So let's put that over to the side. And we've got the hunt rule book. Same thing. Let's check out the back. Perfect. Looks like we've got our key terms that we need to know, which is great, as well as some icons. And then it goes straight into the rule book. This will be super fun. I don't know what I'm more excited for, the PvP aspect or the cooperative aspect. Yeah, right. So we have more components. I like everything. The way everything is looking so far is looking really clean. There's a lot of text. So obviously once I dive into this, we need to see how well the text represents everything. But it seems, just from what I'm looking at here, like a well-made rulebook, which is great. Which gives me high hopes for the second one. And then we've got the campaign book. I'm assuming this is probably just going to be story, so I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, this is just mostly story stuff. Campaigns that you can go on. So we're not going to spoil that. And then we've got an empty insert with the silica packet. So obviously there's more underneath. I wonder if this is for the stretch goals. This could be stretch goal stuff. Or punch. Look at this. This is like completely opposite of how most unboxings. Normally you've got your cardboard punch on top. So we have some dice here in the middle. 2 packs of dice. I'm going to leave those in that foam. This is really nice foam. This is very, very unique. And let's see if we can see some of these miniatures. Might have to refocus. Let me know if I need to refocus that. Yeah, it's a foam insert. Isn't that incredible? When was the last time you saw a foam insert? A custom foam insert for a board game. I can't remember the last time I've seen one. That's for sure. So let's take a look at these minis. See how good. This guy's got a lot of stuff hanging off of him. He's got some skulls. I don't know if you can't probably see him. And of course, yeah, it's not going to focus on it. You've got skulls here, some horn things coming out his back. Oh, look, and okay, so inside the box are the pictures of the monster to tell you what goes there. Is it easier to take the minis out without bending the thing bits? I mean, this is super easy to stick the minis in and out. And I think it's incredibly cool that they put in here the picture of what goes in there. I think that's super cool. It's kind of dark. I need more lighting to actually show you guys what's in there. But we have a bunch of different types of minis. Some of these guys are pretty cool looking. They also have textured bottoms, so they've actually done the basing for us. I will say some of the high detail portions aren't as high as like other, like Awakened Realms type. It's not quite as clean, and I have some, plastic hanging off that needs to be shaved off with a razor blade. But if you are into minis, this is more than serviceable. So we've got some card art here. I'll tell you, I was very surprised about the foam. So the problem is the camera is not on autofocus, so I have to actually go and push a button to focus it. So it should be focused here. So by doing this, autofocus would work, but it's not on autofocus, right? So I'd have to then also reach up and push a button, which stinks. I'll try my best to show you guys what I have. So these are the cards. These have different backed cards. So we'll do them in batches. Now I have no idea what these cards are right now. So these have some sort of map trail on the back, if you guys can see that. And then, so we have some obviously reprinted cards here. So it says Seekers have on activation assign 1 damage to self. And then it says Lava Fiend 2 and 1/1/1 creatures. Don't know quite what that means. Oh, that art's pretty cool. This green swamp looks like some sort of acidic ooze. We got a pillar here with some flame coming off of it. 3 of those. Oh, that's cool. This reminds me of Magic the Gathering art. See if that works. I don't know if that worked or not. It reminds me of Magic the Gathering for sure. About how many game sessions do I have per week? We have a guaranteed one day a week is the actual play session, like where we play with the group. And then I try to do 2 extra for content for the show. I have a hard time asking my play group to always play games that I need to do content for, because they might not be into that one, or, I don't know. I feel a little selfish being like, hey guys, I've got all these games that are for the board game channel that I need to run. So I try to, keep Saturdays a little open, and then I'll be like, hey, so like tomorrow, Friday, I've got someone coming over to specifically play this game with me. All right. Does that answer your question? So usually between 1 to 3. Really depends again on my play group. I wish I had more people. Surprisingly, my play group, like if I were to line everyone up, is probably like 20 people that we play with on average. But I would say maybe 3 to 4, excluding myself, are very, very active. The other ones kind of drop in and out. So these look like they're monsters. They have a red back with a wood print here. So we have a stream collar. And there's looks like different levels. You have 18, 20, and 22. That little heart, so most likely health, maybe defense and attack down here is what that kind of would signify to me. A demon wretch, a lava fiend. We saw that on another card. An exalted effigy. Yeah, I've been working very hard to like build my play group up. I feel like play groups. Okay, here's a question for you guys before I continue. Who are you in your player group? Are you the one who organizes and runs the events, or are you someone who is a person who just waits for the invite and goes? Like, where do you find yourself in play groups? Because I feel like I'm the person who has to organize, and I don't mind that. I've done that for every game that I've played. Like when I played X-Wing and Armada, I was organizing the events for that, even running the regional events and the championships. Yeah, you buy the game and organizing. I feel like if you, I would say, and this is just out of my butt guess, but I feel like if you consume board game content regularly, you most likely are the one who does the majority of the purchasing and organization. Solo player. Well, then you are your whole player group at that point. You're everything. A griffin. I really like griffins. There was a part of me who almost wanted to make my logo or in my brand around griffins. I really wanted, I went back and forth on that one. So horned golems, a wildwood sentinel. That one's hard to see what the art looks like. It looks like just a bunch of mesh. It looks like a tree with water pouring out of them. We have a river guardian, the phoenix, wild's flower, and that's about it. And then we have some extra cards. Okay, so that's those cards. We're going to check out what's below this foam insert. So my question, there's something down here. How easy is this foam insert to remove without damaging it? So it actually, okay, oh boy. It actually has a bottom on it to kind of help keep it together. And then below that looks like the punch. Okay. Looks like the punch is down here. Yeah, so I feel like if you are... So I don't know if I answered this. Did I answer the own question? I decided to lead with a question, and then I forgot where I was going with my question. But I basically, I run and try to organize everything. So I've been... okay, I remember now. I've been spending a lot of time cultivating my group and, like, really wanting to be intentional about making sure everyone's included and their voices are heard kind of thing. I'm assuming it's going to go foam, insert, maps is probably what I'm going to do. Because you got that black insert as well, which is probably for this stuff. Okay, so in here, we've got some cardboard. Which is the exact same creatures that we just saw, like the stream caller, the demon wretch. These are new. Coral, these are probably bosses. I don't want to punch these. And they are double-sided. Are they identical double-sided? Soul Feast 4. They are not identical. So these are different. So depending on, I guess, what level you're playing, these do change. And then we have all our tokens. Alright, what else do we have? So more. Looks like just more villains. The printing is great, guys. So if you have any questions regarding the component quality for Wild Assent, I think Lazy Squire has done very, very good at the component quality. This stuff is very, very nice. Very excited. You think the big one? See, I think I don't know about... Are these the player characters? That could be it. That could be correct. Yeah, you might be right, Dragon. You might be right. There was a point where I was like, I really need to make sure when I do an unboxing, because you know some of these games, you back like sometimes years earlier, and you can kind of forget like what's included in this game, or what's the gameplay like, and sometimes it's hard to stay up to date on everything. And I always tell myself, you know, when you're gonna do an unboxing, make sure you go to Board Game Geek and you re-up yourself on everything. But of course I didn't do that this one time. I did it last time though. Okay, so here we have our camp. We have different cards here, which is so funny because I was just watching an unboxing of another channel. I'm not going to say which one, but they were doing a game that I know very, very well. And I was like, man, why didn't you send me the game? I know all these answers to all these questions. So this is the board, and this is double-sided. So here's this, man, this looks so cool. Man, it's so hard. I literally don't have much room here to operate, so we're just kind of doing what we can. But this looks so cool. Kind of like a desert. We have I like the perspective here. Right. It's I've actually had to really reduce the amount of games that I've had to back as of late, because I've just been kind of going overboard. As you can see, like, we've got 3 games in this week, plus last week. How many did I open last week on the show? I think I opened 3 last week. On top of that, I have Kickstarter previews that I got sent that I need to do content for, and I'm going on vacation this week. So it's just like, man, I just don't have time to play all the games. So this is how, the way I'm putting it in here, this is how I normally see games repackaged. I think it's kind of interesting that it was kind of backwards. Okay. How many of you guys, how many of you are you looking for backing the Game Found Wild Assent? Like, how many are you guys here curious because you are interested, like actively interested in backing it? I need to, after the stream tonight, I will I'll punch all this and put everything away, because I plan on playing at least the core box tomorrow. You were interested? Yeah. My hope was oh, if you guys, in case they do another art book, let me show you this art book real quick. I think it's this one. God, I have to remember every time. Yeah. So the art, we're not going to spend a lot of time digging the art book, but I do think for people who are always curious what an art book looks like, or kind of the contents, this is, I was really happy with this one because it has some back history regarding some of the characters and some storyline. So I thought this was interesting. So it's not like a standard art book that has just pictures. There's actually more involved. So I thought that was pretty cool. So if you are looking for an art book and you kind of like want something more than just pictures to look at, I think this is a little better than the most of the books that I get. And I keep that with my other books. Hey, Stefan. Yeah, it's a really good book. And it's got a very nice texture, kind of that velvety texture on the front and back. So really, really high quality. So we'll put that back there. All right, let's take a look at the stretch goal box. Where did that go? Right here. And you guys are also kind of my guinea pigs. So you're going to have to let me know how the audio sounds and the music, because last time when I came back and rewatched my show, I felt like they were a little quiet and loud, like in bad ways. So this is the stretch goal box. And I like that they sent it like this rather than just a brown box, and you're just like, good luck. Put it, find a place to put it somewhere, which has happened in games where you're like, how do I store this? It's just in a brown box. How many games do you guys back? Would you say, how many games do you back on average a month? All right, let's check this out. So same thing, we got this tray. So we know now that those probably where those player boards will fit are right there. Let's put my phone, kind of hold this in place. Okay. Awesome. So same thing, foam. I'm really curious. I might reach out to the publisher and ask them if they're going to do the same kind of insert, the foam insert. Some of the minis have a little bit of excess like stuff, but the custom insert, I just can't get over that. It's so cool. Really makes the game feel a little bit more higher end. Okay, here we go. This guy looks broken. This guy looks broken. Okay, so this guy holding a sword here. You can't see. You probably still can't see. But he's holding something here that looks... You can't see again. I'm so close. So this guy's got a sword here. I apologize for the unfocus. But he's also got a hilt in his hand here. And it feels like there should be a sword coming off of that. But there's not. And I don't, when I look in here, I'll have to check the campaign again. 3. Well, welcome to KS. Welcome to Kickstarter Addiction. Anonymous. That's what we're here for, is to talk about Kickstarters and our plans for recovery. 5 in 3 years. I would say that is very good numbers. 5 in 3 years. If I could say the same, I do 5 in a month. That is awesome. 2 per month. That's what I'm trying to get down to. So this looks like a wolf, maybe lion, demon bat. If I were to like give you some kind of lore, I don't know how I get him back in here. How does he fit back in here? This is kind of embarrassing. Oh, kind of like this, I guess. Okay. I'm really upset if that guy's broken. This guy looks really cool. I was working on getting my phone. 130 campaigns last year. Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. Not gonna lie. I'm impressed. Yeah, my wife started getting really upset at me, especially when Cloud Spire and Too Many Bones showed up. It was just... what? My wife is watching. Red alert! Red alert! Oh, man. Oh, no. Guys, my wife is still watching. She's not supposed to be here. I've been caught. Okay. Okay, truthfully, though, I am cutting back. I am cutting back. And if my wife watches, she doesn't watch every episode, but the Kickstarter callback, I talk about the shows that I that I send back, or not send back, that I back. So these are it. So what's underneath? Do we have anything underneath these guys? So we have some more stuff. My wife and I have a interesting game going on, though. Every time an Amazon box shows up, I have to question her purchases and ask her if she has an addiction. But then every time a Kickstarter shows up, I just tell her, well, I paid for that 2 years ago. I mean, it's okay. Okay, what do we got here? Some more of the same. I like this girl, this lady Alwen. She's pretty badass looking. We got Scythe. Scythe, a little interesting way to say that. Rodin. Okay. Maybe it's a staff. That looks like potentially the guy with the sword that I was kind of complaining about. But he's got like a staff in that hand. So I did Nemesis last week. I don't know if you saw the box. The Nemesis box that I unboxed last week literally took the entire screen. And I had it zoomed out further. So these have flavor text on the back. Would you guys want me to read one of these and pretend like I know how to read? So this is the Wildswood Widow. It is said the Wildswood Widow wastes days to eat its prey after it cocoons them. Helpless and marinating in its own perspiration, the widow's victims can often turn to madness before the end, writhing in their webbed prison and screaming for death. That's pretty cool. Then it has some names that I can't pronounce, that I will refuse to pronounce on stream because I don't want to embarrass myself. So the next things that I'm going to be working on for the stream is obviously gameplay. I want to get some gameplay going on. I think gameplay will be. I want to do this a different way. I want to put this in here and this in here. I like how perfectly that fits as well. Oh, my phone. So gameplay is the next step. But I mentioned in the preview for this channel, let's go back to me. I think I clicked the wrong one. I did. Let's go here. Sorry for the extra swing. So I have an idea, and I wanted to get my the opinions from the channel regarding this. So reviews, obviously Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter reviews. Reviews in general, I film and upload, edit it. And I was thinking, would it be fun or interesting to do a live review? And the idea would be like less interactive with the chat during the review. I would do it as if I'm recording. So you're going to sit here watching me talk, doing the review. But then I will then ask questions to the audience. If you guys have any specific questions that maybe I didn't address in the review, that you guys can then ask. So if you had a question about a specific mechanic that you thought I didn't touch on enough, I could then add that at the end of the review. And I was like, man, how interesting would that be to have like responses back for a review? I think that'd be so cool. And no one's done that before that I'm aware of. I do think that it's a little bit difficult, and obviously I can't do the editing that I would for say a like B-roll and stuff. I won't have any cool shots like that, but I think it would be cool. Like, so this is the next game that I was planning on reviewing, and I was like, and I have ideas of how I would do the review because I want to show the app. Like, I think that's super important, is being able to show the app. But I love the idea of being able to like do a 15-minute review and then, yeah, right. There's probably going to be, I think that's a good point, Aaron. And I don't have any mods yet for my channel. Dragon, you'll be surprised, man. My scripting is very minimal. When I do my reviews, I have a basic idea, like a bullet point outlines. I will say that maybe 40% of the time that I actually bring the this is, I don't even know if I should be saying this stuff, but there's about 40% of the time when I actually remember to put the scripts kind of to the side so that I can look at my bullet points. And there's pluses and minuses to that, because when I'm doing my review, I like to talk from the heart and just express the way I see the game. But then almost every time I will be like, dang it, I didn't mention this and I didn't mention that, and I'm like, too late, obviously. So that's why the bullet points are like, whenever I remember like a key point that I want to talk about, that would be the benefit of having a, you know, whatever, a script. But I would say I'm very unscripted. Even like my Kickstarter, the Should You Backs are almost all unscripted. I'll generally, if there's something I really want to make sure I'll talk about, I'll put a little post-it note on my second computer monitor, and I'll be like, so for example, I did that with Witcher. I said I want to make sure I talk about these two things in Witcher, but really I just want to, you know, talk and share it, because I kind of want to have it be more conversational. That's a good question. That's actually, so I added Aaron. Interesting. I wonder how liked that would be. I added setup to my reviews. So my edited and filmed reviews, I now do setup, sped up, so people can kind of get an idea of how to set up the board. Doesn't work with every game, because obviously like card games, the setup is like you put a deck and all right, you're good to go. But like Whistle Mountain, which is right here, I did the setup for that one. And then storage, I think that would be interesting to talk about storage and putting it back. And depending on the game, if it's like my Eclipse game, that would be like just literally put everything in bags and throw them back in the box. But I do say like sometimes. So one of the thoughts about this channel for the streaming was it's hard because I wanted to do unboxing, but then also putting away, right? Like putting stuff back. And I think that is it's still a challenge. I don't know. Like here, like, would people watch? And here's the thing, I don't want to bore you guys. Obviously, I want to be valuable with your time, especially if you're spending it with me. But would you guys watch me not only unbox this, but putting it away in the inserts? Yeah, right? It's impossible, Dragon, to put the tent back. So there's a good example. I wish I knew. Oh, it's over there. I don't want to grab this game. I don't want to get up and grab it because it's not yet allowed to be seen on camera. But this game that I got from a publisher, I unboxed it and I was like, how am I supposed to put this stuff back? It literally does not fit back in the box. And I got an email maybe a week later, and the publisher was like, hey, just to give you a heads up, we're changing some of the components because it's hard to fit back in the box. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, how the F do you store it? Oh, by the way, I'm opening another box. This is the expansion box. This girl on the cover is incredibly cool looking. I love cool looking female characters. My WoW character was a female. And I shouldn't have probably said that. Okay. Wild Assent. Okay, so this is the prologue campaign. Boss encounters. I don't know. Should I be reading that? Hey, Hendrix. Thanks, my dude. So I do. So you guys want to see something real quick? We'll pause this. Hold on. I'll be right back. So, we'll audible real quick to this gem. Just pulled this off. So these are my Imperial Assault boxes. The question was asked, do you put everything into one box? And here's a perfect example. So I have everything for Imperial Assault, and you can kind of see, like, I have stuffed as much content as I can into this big box, as well as expansion. So like this expansion pack, everything that was from this Tyrants of Lothal is in this baggie. So same with all this other stuff to kind of like reduce box space. So I try to like, you know, bag everything so it's in the expansion that it's related to, but try to still get it in one box. So that is a good example of what I try to do. And then I kind of like, you know, just try to find a way to make everything fit back in here. And then like this is because I have multiple campaigns. This is a good example. Because I have multiple campaigns running at a time, we'll write down people's loadouts so that we can just pull those cards out. I try to keep like individual decks made. If I'm doing a campaign with one group, we'll just keep their stuff all together. But if I'm running multiple campaigns, we have to figure out different solutions. Yeah, it's old. Yeah. I still want to play that. I still have hopes of playing that. So, oh my gosh. I'm just adding boxes to my wall here. Just brush that to the side. Put Destiny's back. Bring this back in. So it's hard though. So an example that I would like to talk about would be like Bloodborne. If it's a mini heavy game, it's incredibly difficult for you to consolidate because you're trying to protect your minis as well, right? This one, I wasn't too concerned about jamming a bunch of minis in a box for Imperial Assault. But like Bloodborne, I don't really want to do that. So it's definitely a challenge. So this looks like this is mostly just mission, like a campaign log. I think it's even what it says, prologue campaign. Yeah, so standard to our campaign in the other game. Same look. We're probably going to have this plus the foam insert. Wow, look at this guy. So this is not standard mini plastic. This feels different. I wish I could place what I don't know enough about mini plastic to tell you like what this plastic is, but it feels different. It has a different feeling to it than standard minis, and I don't know what they're going to go with. They definitely went for like this fleshy bony look. I really wish I had a close-up camera. That might be the next step, getting a close-up camera. Okay. And then we've got our cards, equipment cards and monster cards. I really like the foam insert, man. I can't get over it. What else we got here? So this is an archer with a bird on his back. Yeah, do you know what the minis... That'd be... If you knew the answer to what the minis are made of, they don't feel like standard minis. That's for sure. I can't guess, though. You don't like the foam insert. So why don't you like the foam insert? That's a good starting question. What about the foam insert don't you like? Oh, look at that. That guy just... Oh, he's double-ended. Are they resin? I Robin, I don't want to guess what they are. It's softer, I feel like. It feels maybe softer. Is resin softer than ABS or something? I don't know. I could be just totally wrong. It just feels different in my hand. It feels softer. And they definitely don't have as clean resin as ultra brittle. I don't know. The fact that guy's sword was broken makes it interesting. Is resin the stuff that's brittle, Robin, and glues really well, though? because I have the just bend one of your minis. It feels soft. The plastic feels soft, like a little bit of rebound. I don't think it's resin. Let's see. This kind of moves. I mean, you guys are making me nervous. I really don't want to break my guy's spear. Just bend it, Brian. Quit being scared. Let's take a look at these cards. So is there a thing in the middle? Is there a thing in the middle of bendable but not? Someone's got to be looking it up. Someone's got to be able to figure it out. Someone's got to be able to Google it. So for this, all the same card backs, and I have no idea what these are. They just say whim. Is it a PVS plus ABS mix? Unicast. There's supposed to be a I think it's supposed to be this one where you guys could actually see the chat, right? Tell me which one you prefer. Do you like the bigger camera or do you like the chat window up? Yeah, it feels like it's in between. What's the most common, Robin? Hello, successful geek. I was getting worried I'd never see you again. So it's definitely, you could definitely condense the game if you were to get rid of the foam insert and just baggy the minis, according to like type, like player characters and minions. Yeah, I could see you combining 2 boxes. So all the new training, yep. That's so funny. I feel like a little matchmaker. I don't know if you guys talk on other Discords pretty regularly, but I feel like a little matchmaker. Oh, I didn't take out the punch because it's hidden at the bottom. It's hidden at the bottom. And this one doesn't want to come out. So same thing. We have our player characters. And then we have some minions potentially. The Fire Lord, the Wisp Swarm. And this girl's clapping, so she's encouraging you. Yeah, so if you wanted to combine them, I think you could. I personally, Aaron, I like the foam insert. I think it's unique. And it's definitely interesting. It's very rare that I see a foam insert. How am I doing this? We're doing this next. Yeah, so ABS, that's what they said. They said it's a PVC ABS mix. Oh, I'm putting this wrong. It feels different, yeah. I mean, as soon as I touched the minis, they didn't feel like my standard minis that I normally work with. I feel like I handle a lot of different minis. Okay. That box did not close as clean as the other ones. I have this mini, and see, this mini he's a little bendable, but this is a prototype of Oathsworn, and the way that this mini feels is so incredibly cool. He mentions in the interview how this mini was, like what kind of product this mini was, but I wish I can remember it. But this mini, the way this mini feels in general, I would love if all my minis felt that way. Okay.